What should be a great weekend of both racing and soccer just continues with our preview to Saturday's racing. We're on the inside track of a turffontein and 8 race program once again this Saturday. But the good news is that there are 10 more horses carded, and it is certainly in terms of quality, no doubt about it, a more enticing card, as our friend will tell us, Mr. Marie, who unfortunately yesterday had to settle for hitting the bar a couple of times. But that's racing.
I think we did quite well.
You did quite well. I mean, just bus stop in Hounslow was our biggest setback. Huh?
Well, the PA showed a profit, the bar pot showed a profit. Prince of Kildare landed a bit of a gamble.
Prince of Kildare, very well done with that. Very well done with that.
Yeah.
4-1 was the price when you first started talking about it, huh?
72 into 11 to 10.
That's very good. Very good.
Yeah, but
we live
you
on.
know what?
That was yesterday, tomorrow is
exactly.
Sunday. All right, let's
Doesn't
talk about
help us now, does it?
Right, very competitive first race. Now, as far as the first time of that is the Seven Heathers boy in the colours of the Kaya Racing Stables. Mike de Kock trains his 3-year-old son of Rafif out of a Tiger Ridge mare, Folk Dance. Folk Dance. Who trained Folk Dance again?
Paul Peter.
Paul Peter, that is correct.
She placed in the Grade 1 Taquini.
Yeah,
She won the Grade 3 Fillies Mile.
Yeah.
Extremely well bred. He's actually a half brother to Kaya Mai, who ran second as a juvenile on debut. Has found, excuse me, let me get that out the way, Cecil. Has found support and in the anti-post market. See if there's a follow through. With regards to number 7, Heather's Boy, but there's no comment in the front of the computer form. Now, Ichacha put up a lovely debut effort, came into the straights about 6 lengths behind Flight's Engineer and ran him down towards the latter stages. Not much separating the two. You'd say Ichacha's got more scope for improvement, but I've just put them both in to the opening leg of the bar pot. Hair Trigger, on his debut effort, he ran behind Proceed in that race. Proceed ran third. He's come out and won the Grade 1 gold medallion. And then Chariot of Fire, nice enough debut.
I think basically you watched that race, Chariot of Fire, again. I think should have been much closer.
He got into the race very late. He was doing his best work late. I'm happy enough doubling up in the opening leg.
So the numbers are?
3, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That is certainly, if we don't make it through that first leg, I think the gods are not with us. Off time to race number 1. The first of our 8 races, 20 past 12. We're on the inside track at Turffontein. All right, so it is moving on to race number 2, the first leg of the PA. This is a crime risk advisory Maiden Plate, a 3-year-old event for fillies over the 1450. We should be underway with that PA at 5 minutes to 1 just before the games in the EPL get underway for this weekend. Right, we've got number 6 of Fireburst, a decent debut first time out for the list of ownership, glittering list of ownership is at 11 to 10, 17 to 10, the 5 Ancient Wisdom. And thereafter, you're looking at around a 7 to 1 about the 1 Tipperary, who showed signs of a revival in form. Let's just confirm that indeed there hasn't been too much of a change at the top of the order there. Fireburst still that 11 to 10, 17 to 10, the 5 Ancient Wisdom. Now, there was, of course, number 8, Shadow of the Moon, half brother to, or sibling to Dice, who runs a bit later on. Didn't quite go on with it on that first occasion, but we know that Lucky doesn't cut his horses enough.
Yes. Got a lot of work to make up on the favourite, Fireburst. What's it? 9, 8 lengths? Hard to see reverse the form with the favourite. The favourite, listen, it was a nice debut. Only found 1 to good. That winner didn't bring the best form into the race.
That was coming through from Durban, Wayne
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. The third place runner, 20 to 1, unfancied first timer. Wide draw to contend with around the bend. Seemed a little bit one pace, but a lot of scope for improvement. I can see it winning, definitely.
Fireburst.
Yeah, but too short. Ancient Wisdom, nice enough debut. Form line's a little bit skeptical in my mind. I know Ancient Cookies has franked that, but I've still got my doubt. But another one that's got tons of scope for improvement. Can see her winning. Have a look at number 9, Theatre of Life. I think she represents the value in the race. She's in around about 8-1. Debuted against winners.
Yes.
I know she finished last, but far from disgraced. The booking of Striker, I think, indicates that she could be fancy to make a winning return because she has been off the track for 2.5 months. I like the look of her at the current odds of 8-1.
9-1.
9-1.
Yeah.
You know, in that race was Pointer.
Yes. We came out to it, finished 3.25 lengths
Exactly.
behind.
She only finished 3 lengths behind Pointer, who came out and franked that form. And then Tipperary on a line through Ancient Cookies, she's held. But last time out, course and distance, they allowed her to stride. Neat draw. She's got fitness. She'll be thereabouts.
Okay.
Treble up.
Treble up. 1, 5, 6, and a 9. The man is very much chirpy about his exotics today. And there's the latest example. That's an outlay of 128 rand. CSI Tabula Maiden Plate is race number 3, distance at 2,000 meters, off time at 13:30, and we get into that pick 6, which certainly will have a lot of thrills and spills as we go on. Some nice sorts now being stepped out ready for the season that is now gathering momentum, and we talk of the likes of the recent Cape Flying Championship winner, that is Dice, and has a second run back after Gelding. That will come about a bit later on in the Pinnacle Stakes. Let's come back to Mother Earth and the Maiden Plate, where a high Q in the colors of the Hollywood and an informed Clinton Binder teaming up with Smile Kumalo is at 2-1. The 7 City Lights has seen a lot of racing of late, is back again. Gavin retains right at 5-2. Number 2 now, Man's Night, with just giving you the equipment changes shortly, 5-1 along with the 6 Gamer. The blinkers are off. Tongue tie is on, and the Connell collar is also on. Let us just confirm that that is indeed what has been done there. And yes, indeed. So, Mr. Marie, I think I have furnished as much as I can.
If you've noticed my perms to date,
Yes.
I've banked Haku in both the PA and the Bipot.
Yes.
I am bankering him in the pick 6 too, and I'm having a bet, and I'll tell you why now. Let me just say to the viewers, if you aren't as bullish as what I am, I'd back Haku up in the pick 6 with 1 horse only, and that's Gamer. Now, last time I'd Gamer got a little bit interfered with around the bend. Muzi was on a Mark the Cock Jaham, I think it was, and cut across, and it caused it caused Cabello to ease. I think if it wasn't for that interference, Cabello would have gone very close to beating the Cane Train. Now, Cabello's on Gamer again. He's stepped up in trip. He was finishing that race off nicely, and the stable's on fire. I'm done with City Lights. She can win without my money. Last time out, we saw Fabian being interviewed for Track Talk, and he said, you know what, my filly's very moderate, incredible Indrani. I'm done with City Lights. Now, the reason why I like Haku, last time I'd be on Master TikTok, if you watch that race very carefully, he was traveling extremely well, and he got into a bit of a pocket, and Muzi got first run on him with Master TikTok. He had the momentum going through the 400. If you watch that race very carefully, the first time Haku had stepped over 2,000, he was doing his best work late. And in that race was a horse called the Cane Train, finished 4 lengths behind him. There's a lot of the Cane Train form over here. Roll of the Dice, Gamer. So on a line through the Cane Train,
as well as the Heroic Act and the House of Books.
Yeah, on a line through the Cane Train, he's got the rest of them stone cold.
Yeah.
So I'm really bullish with regards to Haku's chances. I think Simanga will want to set the record straight. Bank number 1 Haku. If you're not as bullish as what I am, back him up with the number 6 in the pick 6.
There we have it. There is the pick 6, a banker. And that is, of course, the very, very inexpensive outlay that you could just tamper around with, but still show a good profit. That's enough time to race 3 of a 1:30. All right, so race number 4 is a Pinnacle Stakes. It's a Camargo Pinnacle Stakes over the 2,600 meters. And we're looking at a field of eight very, very, very useful stayers who no doubt will be strutting their stuff as the season really gathers momentum and it becomes a very, very competitive indeed. But having a look at the betting for that fourth of our 8 races, the favorite is the 4, Raise the Hallelujah. Alpha 4-timer yesterday from 8 races. Muzi Yeni gets the ride is at 2-1, but he does come in a +1. Number 6, a prime example, is at 5-2. 7-2 is the one, Zeus. 4-1, the 2, Good Counsel. 15-2, and Better Bothers. If I said to you, Mr. Murray, what do you remember about the 3rd of Feb? Anything that comes to mind? A very memorable event happened on the 3rd of Feb.
I
It
don't.
was the start of the Triple Crown and Triple Tiara. But Gavin achieved 10 wins aboard a Zeus. And do you
Oh,
remember the lead-in? It
yeah.
was one of those things that really will stay in the mind forever. Ever, ever, ever. Now, the price about Zeus is 7-2. I think going over a more optimum trip, and I think we'll be given a slightly more conservative ride than the last time.
Yeah. I mean, we know their record together,
Yeah,
15 times, 10 wins.
yeah.
Um, Returning, well, this is his first run back on the half out, whereas Razor Hallelujah has had a run and he's carrying 60 kgs. I've excluded him. Will I be shocked if he upstages me? Absolutely not.
This is Zeus we're talking about.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I'll make it a 2-corner contest. Now let's touch on the last race that Prime Example and Razor Hallelujah competed in.
Yes.
If you recall, there was a horse called Absolute Value who's in this race.
Yes.
And Weather Wizard, they cut each other's throats up front, and that ensured a good gallop, and it made Razor Hallelujah carry that weight of 62 kilograms, which just took its toll in the latter stages. Will we see such speed up front this time round? I don't believe so. But strictly at the weight, one's gonna say we have to favor Razor Hallelujah because he's as much as 5 kilograms better off. He was 6, but Muzi puts up that 1 over. But then we have to touch on the 2 stables form. Candace is a little bit quiet, and Wayo's really in cracking form currently.
Yes.
So I don't want to separate the 2. On paper, you'll be leaning towards Razor Hallelujah. The fact that Wayo's really on song and Candace is still yet to hit top form, I'm just going to go both of them, numbers 4 and 6, and I'm actually very bullish that they'll fight it out.
They will fight it out. Then that is in the jackpot, which starts with the 4th at 2:05. All right, so we dropped out to a merit-rated 86 after the lofty heights of the Pinnacle Stakes, which was race number 4, and that also means dropping back in trip to 1,800 meters for the first leg of Jackpot II. Now, this is a field of 11, and certainly is another one of those races that we could see 1 or 2 emerge from and contest some of the features that will be making up the season. Now, as far as race number 5 is concerned, it is unbeaten since being gelded. Number 2, Atarime, is at 33-10. Upwardly Mobile, that is the Taizaki Charge Apache Sun, is at 7-2. Celtic Rush, 5-1. 6-1 is the 10. Fushimi Inari, 13-2. Number 11, American Biscuit, it's 12-1, and Better Bar those. Mr. Marie, at Rime, you were back to the selection up last time out, which would have been Max the Magician with Atarime, and Atarime came through for us. Today, would you back Atarime up? And this is tongue in cheek with Weather Wizard, or Weather Wizard, is that going on the same list as City Lights, on the transfer list as City Lights?
Yeah, on the same list.
Yes.
You can see my perms, I only put 2 runners.
Yeah.
2 and 8. But believe you me, the race doesn't stop there, because on paper, a horse like American Biscuit has to have a chance, but his last run was a bit of a stinker. Fushimi Inari tends to get worked up terribly at the pens, and I don't know. He's got a chance, but I want to see his mind on the job. Global Impact, if you're going wider. Celtic Rush, he was withdrawn at the ball. Remember, he threw off Cabello going down to the start. Wasn't striding out. Apache Sun's another one that's unbeaten as a gelding. Falls into the same category as Atarime. But I've only got numbers 2 and 8. Now, I like the look of Atarime. I mean, he's 2 from 2 has been gelded. Last time out, over a mile. If you recall the race, coming into the straight, Presley, the runner up, quickened up much better than him. And it looked like he had Atarime on the ropes. But the further they went, the stronger Atarime got. And he really got into full stride late. That was over a mile, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Now he's stepping up to 1800. He's gone further in the past. I think this is the ideal track and trip for him currently. So it looks like he's going to get a great run in transit, because who's drawn to his inside? Whispers of War. Now, Whispers of War, I think he's much better around the bend. Last time it was up the straight. Penultimate start around the bend with Trent. He finished behind Apache's Sun. But now he's got Samanga, much stronger handling in the irons. Apache's Sun's got a wide draw to contend with. Samanga's ridden this horse in the past. From a stall gate 1, he shouldn't really be exerted to get into a prominent position. I know on paper there's not much separating them, but have a look at his rating. He's right down to a 76. His latest mark he won off was an 85, so I think he's going to be very competitive. Go back to that run behind Joker Man over this course. You know what? Atarime is my top choice, but I think Whispers of War is the value in the race. 2 and 8 for me.
2 and 8, and then there are a couple of horses in leg 3, and that is 5 and 7. The total outlay 80 Rand. Jackpot 2 starts race 5 at 1440. All right, so you're watching Weighted to Win. We are now into that first leg of the last pick 3, and a reminder that Weighted to Win is proudly brought to you by Betway. Now, as far as race number 6 is concerned, our second Pinnacle Stakes is over the shorter trip of 1,000 meters, and here we have a very, very competitive race number 6, William Robertson, and the 6, that is 2 William Robertson and 6 Anfield's Rocket, are both at 5 to 1. A runner just a couple of weeks ago in a feature that was the Spring Spree, where it nearly did pull it off, and he had to settle for second behind a back to business. That is Cliffhanger. He is at 11 to 2. Number 1, Dice, second one after Gelding, 6 to 1, 13 to 2. And better bar those. We have a field of 11 carded. And as far as changes, well, the big change, Mr. Marie, your plunge nearly just a quarter of a length away from coming through. Now that merit rating unfortunately has been, in fact, that remains the same. So we are quite happy with Anfield's Rockets rating, and 5 to 1. This time no such value as before. Are you still in the corner?
I like his chances. Yeah, he was very stiff last time out. I mean, we tipped him at 12 to 1. He started favourite.
Yeah.
But if you take note in that race, he was a lot more prominent in running.
Yeah.
He actually hit the front about 500 meters out, Cecil. So if he can show, he's not going to show that pace over 5 furlongs on the inside track. I doubt that. And I don't think this is going to be his ideal track and trip either. But if his midfield turn him for home, I can see him winning. He's got a chance at the weights, definitely, Anfield's Rocket. So I like his chances. Dice, the best weighted. Now, he's 1 from 1 on the inside track. If you recall that victory, he came from way back with Cabello in the irons. I know he had a lightweight on that occasion. But the turn of foot he showed that day, excuse me, Cecil, was outstanding. So this horse is capable of being given a chance and running on. He doesn't have to be up there on the pace. And I like the fact that he's had some time off the track, because he hasn't really been at his best recently. So I'd love to see him bounce back and win. Number 1, Dallas. Number 3, Rulership. I like his chances. Penultimate start, returning from a layoff. Gave a very decent sort in Captain Hindsight, a lot of weight. And next time out, over the 1160 is not his game. And they said in the pre-race they're going to try to give him a little bit of a chance. He's back over 1,000. Track and trip will be ideal for him. Having his peak run, expect a huge run from rulership. And then I've gone one other, and that's number 9, Cosmic Star. This son of Erupt is really on the upgrade. Way better than his last start. He had a ton of excuses. 52, 1 draw, joint best, second best in over here. I'm going to be leaning towards number 9, Cosmic Star, as the likely winner.
All right, so the 9 ahead of the likes of Dice, that is the 1 of the 3 Rulership and the 6 Anfield's Rocket. That will be our second and final pinnacle of the afternoon, 1,000 meters. The trip off at 3:15. Last chance to get involved in a pick 3. All right, so we're getting into the first leg of the last double, and what a race. I must say, this is a smallish field, 10 more runners than we had last week, which was 62 last week, 72 up to 75 or something, but around there. And it is quality personified, and race number 7 is a case in point. This is a merit rated 95, is over the 14.50, and Max the Magician is back as a co-favorite with the 7 Brave Viking, both at 3-1. Now the 8, Bob's Urankle is at 7-2, 6-1 is the 2 Cape Lights, 7-1 number 9, a King's Ransom. It is 9-1 and a better bar those. Well, good to see Muzi back aboard a Robbie Sage horse, and of course Muzi in the colours of Mr. Ian van Skalkwyk. No better sight in racing. And of course the 7 Brave Viking ran behind Max the Magician last time out. Now how do you see the race this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon panning out, sir?
I like this race. Just 2 for me, numbers 5 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not really keen on Bob's Your Uncle on the inside track. That's just my personal opinion. On form, he's got a strong winning chance. Wide draw to contend with, but he pushes forward. All depends how much energy he's going to have to use to get there. On the other hand, Max the Magician, who we tipped last time out, is drawn 1. And he shouldn't really be able to work, or have to work. Now, what I do want to point out, last time out when we tipped Max the Magician, after I did the show, I went and listened to Gavin Lorena's comments. Vicky interviewed him, and he said he would have been a lot more confident if it was a 1400. And if you watch that race, he rode Max the Magician patiently in order to get the mile. And I think that's not going to be the case over here. From stallgate number 1, he should really be in the ideal position and get the run of the race. Back over the 1450 or coming back in trip with the draw to boot, fitness on his side, I think there's so much in this horse's favour to get it right and notch up his 4th career victory. He's done extremely well since being gelded, and he's improving. He's on the upgrade. You are going to get a run for your money at 3-1. I think have a little bit of a nibble. I've got respect for Brave Viking though. Mark has ridden him in the past. I think he'll suit him. He likes a nice quiet ride. Last time out, a bit unfortunate in that he hit the front too far out. Nothing was there to pull him through. So go back 3 runs on the inside track when he finished behind Money Heist of this course and distance. That was a cracking effort. Money Heist got the run of the race that day. He had a white draw. So for me, 5 from 7, I'm not looking past the 2 of them.
All right, so that is 5 and 7. I was just fearful there that Mr. Marie would say the reason why Max didn't win last time because he had tipped it and so many people were hanging on its tail. Okay, so that is the story of the card so far. We now come to the conclusive end. What a way to conclude the race meeting. We have race number 8. Now, this is a merit-rated 80 over the 1450. And if this hasn't got your juices flowing, this card as a whole, then I don't know how much more we need to do to really get you in the mood for what should be good racing that will be coming up. And, of course, the signage of Betway will be very, very prominent indeed. Right, let's talk about race number 8, the finale, and it is another Paul Peter charge that we're going to be focusing on, and that's your favorite number 1. We Are the Logans at 7-2. Pierre Striker Stratum gets the ride from Tony. Number 4, Run for Cover. 15-4 was ridden by Striker last time out after that good third of the vault. Number 10, Wolfman is at 9-2. 11-2 is a 5, Coppola. Number 2, Turbo Power, 6-1. 9-1 is the 9 Tambi or Thambi. It's 13-1 and better bar those. So Striker gets off the 4. Honor to the 1. We Are the Logans, your 7-2 favorite. And that 7-2 tells you the story of what a trappy end to race number 8.
Yeah, nice race to end off with.
Yes.
Let's touch on the current favorite, We Are the Logans. Now, I think it was the Premiers that he ran third in behind Sandringham Summit and Main Defender. And they pumped up his rating to a 108. And you can see he went a little bit off form. He was rested a few times, then rested and gulded. But have a look at his rating.
Yeah, it's
plummeted right down to an 85. And last time out, coupled with the fact that they brought him back in trip, he returned to some sort of form. So you can be certain now he's off a very competitive mark. And I think this course and distance will be ideal for him. So great race for We Are the Logans to get it right. Turbo Power looked a little bit under pressure going through the 200 last time out, but he rallied late. I think the removal of the blinkers was key because he settled up front. And Trent will probably be trying his utmost to give him a similar sort of ride, get prominent, give him a little bit of a chance. And yeah, the way he was finishing in last time out, I think the 1450 is certainly within his range. Trident King, number 3. Everything went pear-shaped last time out. If I'm not mistaken, it was his first run for David. Yeah, but put a line through that effort. He's way better than that. And have a look at his rating. Really down to 81 now. Neat draw. If he gets a nice run, you'll be thereabouts. Run for cover. Now,
Inside track, brother.
Poor old Washong. I mean, how many seconds has he had recently? And with the E, Mighty Goddess.
Everything.
Kalida.
Everything.
Yeah. He really, Washong deserves.
This is the horse that could change it.
This is the horse that can get it right. Course and distance, ideal for him. He's got the draw. He's having his peak run. We have to be leaning towards the 4 as the likely winner. 4, respectful, 1, 2, 3, and 10.
That's the man. He has spoken 15-4 right now about run for cover. And I do not believe that come race time, that 15-4 will be anywhere inside. 4 runs, 2 wins, and a second over course and distance.